tough to beat. Taylorville really going to have a tough task in front of them, and it'll be interesting to see how the week off affects them and how they will be able to handle that. Because when you look at this team and you look at what they've been able to do, they thrive on building on each other. They thrive on being able to have that continuity. And having a week off has kind of really set them back a little bit. So it'll be interesting to see how they react coming on the floor. Charleston sits at 4-2, 1-0 in the Apollo Conference. Taylorville sits only at 1-2 as after missing all week last week due to COVID. They're going to have their hands full tonight with the Trojans. Taylorville lost to Granite City opening night, 46-54. They beat Civic Memorial 49-38 and then lost to a very, very talented Springfield school, 64-36. So we don't know what we're all seeing tonight with this Taylorville team, but we're excited because we know that they have a great defensive team, and that's something that we're going to be watching all night long is to see if their threes are hitting, they should be all right. It's just a matter of whether or not they can hit those threes and whether or not they can match 3-3. If they want to get into a 3 versus 3 battle, I don't think they're going to come out on top. They're going to really need to play defense and force Charleston to make mistakes. And if they're able to do that, they're going to be able to come away with the win. That's what's really we're looking for from this Taylorville team tonight. Taylorville being coached by Ryan Brown, as I said a little bit earlier. For Charleston, they have a new head coach this year, Cody Drone. He will not be coaching tonight. In his place will be A.J. Alexander, whatever it is. We hope Coach Drone is all right and wishing him the best. But yes, A.J. Alexander will be filling in for him tonight. And for Taylorville, it's led by the usual suspects, and Will Bischnauer has been that guy. He's been really good as far as hitting threes, and you can't take away what he's able to do once he starts hitting. It takes him a couple shots to get warmed up. Once he does, he's been firing on all cylinders, and it's been really good to see. We'll see how quickly he is able to get on top tonight as far as this basketball game is concerned. We know what he's able to do. It's a matter of how quickly he'll be able to do that. Otherwise, Bryce Frederick, such a big man under the basket. The 6'4" senior has been an absolute force under the basket and really done a good job of being able to get into the post, penetrate, and score. Again, taking a look at Bryce Frederick, he's 36% as far as field goal ratios, but averaging and it's just a fantastic shot and really doing a good job of being able to get into the low post and hit his baskets. And we're joined maybe by Coach Brown. There we go. We got it good. Coach, I hope you can hear me. Yeah, I got you. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. I am. Yes, I am Han Solo tonight. So we'll be playing both color and play-by-play tonight.
Okay.
You've had a week off, unfortunately. How far does that set your guys back? Are they ready to go tonight?
Oh, man, they're ready. Holy moly, they are ready. We had practice on Saturday and Sunday, and they were chippy. It was a rock fight. I mean, we were playing so hard. I was, at first I was a little nervous. Charleston agreed to push this back a couple days, and I really thank them for doing that. I don't know if we could have beat Charleston on Saturday, but I tell you what, there's a chance we could have beat them 19-18 because we were flying around all over the place. We closed out on every shot. We boxed out every single time. We were tipping it all over the place. Offense looked miserable, but it was just a rock fight. Man, it was a great practice. Love those little edgy kind of practices that are little, getting close to that line. So, but that's these guys, man. They just compete.
You've preached defense all season long. Tonight you're going to have a little bit of a tougher task. Charleston is known for their three-point shooting. How are you going to be able to stop that?
Yeah, we're worried about that. That was the last two practices, Saturday, Sunday nights. But thank you to Mr. Hutchison for letting us practice yesterday, get another one under our belt before 2 games here. But yeah, we were focused on closing out, getting high hands on the three, making sure we're not helping from the corner and staying with corner shooters and that thing. So that's a huge focus for us tonight.
All right, what are you looking for most from your guys tonight?
Well, I'm not going to doubt we're going to have crazy energy tonight. There's no doubt about it. I just want to see some patience. We're going to have this energy, and I feel like we got to slow it down a little bit mentally and not just get over anxious and shoot the first open shot. We're not a shoot the first open shot gunner kind of team. We got one kid I'm comfortable with, and y'all can figure that out who we let have the green light. But I think if we're patient, we're going to have layups tonight.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, Coach Brown, good luck tonight. Thank you for taking up on this stuff. We'll see you at the end of the game.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach Ryan Brown talking to us a little bit. about what he's got going on tonight, and a big matchup for him as Taylorville Tornadoes get ready to take on the Charleston Trojans in what will be a fantastic matchup. And for this Taylorville team, when you really, really look at it, we've been preaching it since day one, and that is defense. And for Taylorville, really, when you look at the defense and what they've been able to do, you really, really try to focus on stopping those backdoor passes, stopping those backdoor shots. And for Taylorville, they're really, really going to need to be able to, as they look forward to doing that and what they have going on as far as being able to really, really get in there and stop those lanes and shut those lanes down. All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll have more as we get ready for Taylorville Tornado basketball here on WTIM, your information station. This Monday evening, a rare Monday night basketball game. Normally they don't really happen too often, but this is rescheduled from Saturday. Taylorville getting over COVID quarantine and just coming back now. And as Coach Brown said a little bit earlier, they are chippy, they are ready to go. And after cooped up for a week, you know that this team is fired up. Unfortunately, what that means also is they're going to really have to watch their defense. And I think that, not defense, their turnovers and just foul trouble, right? So that's something that we're going to be really having to keep an eye on. Coach Brown also preaching patience for easy shots. Don't take a first shot unless, well, he didn't say the name. I'll say the name. Unless you're Will Bischenauer. Bischenauer can absolutely take a first shot if he feels necessary. Nobody else really should on this team. They should be really moving the ball around, being patient, waiting for their open shot, and then taking it. Being physical on screens, again, as much as they can get away with, that's what they're going to be trying to do. So that'll be something they need to see whether or not the refs are on that or not, if that's something that they're going to be paying attention to or not. And attack as much as they can, players switching. That's another big deal for them. For defense, contesting all three-point shots, keeping Braun in check. And that's, of course, as we look here, sorry about that, is Jackson Braun, 15 points per game, 10 rebounds per game. They're going to really need to shut that down. And also not be streaky, right? They can't afford to go on a streak of not scoring and giving up a 6-0, 8-0 run and things like that. If they can do that, they should be all right as far as shutting things down and just making sure that they can get into those lanes and really, really do a good job of shutting down those runs and playing good defense. If they're able to do that, they should be able to come away with a good win, but they're really going to need to play good defense and really limit the penalties. That's another big deal. So, good crowd on hand tonight. Glad to have you with us as we get things ready to go here for a fantastic basketball game between the Taylorville Tornadoes boys basketball team and the Charleston Trojans. And we'll see what they can do here tonight as they get ready for basketball. We're focused. We're ready to go. Hope you are too. For Taylorville, or for Charleston, excuse me, their top scorers as I said, Jackson Braun, 15 points per game, 10 rebounds per game. Also, William Applegate, who also averages about 15 points a game. Otherwise than that, one of the guys that burned them last year, Caleb Oakley. Oakley, junior, scoring 10 points a game, averaging 36.7% from the field, along with Grady Smitley, who is right there as well. And then really, if they're able to limit those three-point shots, they should be able to be all right. But when Charleston is hitting, they're really hitting. And so that's something they really need to do a good job of keeping an eye on and really, really hoping that they can come in there and limit those three-point shots. All right. Got about 3 minutes before we're ready to go here. We'll take another quick break. When we come back, we'll have much more from Taylorville right here on WTIM, your information station, Tornadoes and Trojans, right after this. full official rosters for Charleston as we get ready to go here. 5'8" junior number 1, Cameron Dunklin. Senior number 3, 5'9", Grady Smitley. At number 4, the 5'8" senior Kendall Pankey. At 5'9", the number 5 freshman Luke Bonstetter. At number 10, the 5'9" junior Josh Sipes. At number 11, 6'2" junior William Applegate. At number 12, the 6'3" senior Jackson Burgess. And number 14, the 6'1" senior Jackson Becker. At number 22, the 6' sophomore Parker Pounds. At number 24, the 6'5" senior Jackson Braun. At number 31, 6' senior Seth Howell. At number 33, 6'2" junior Caleb Oakley. And at number 40, 6'2" freshman Ethan Forster. For Taylorville, the number 0, junior 5'6" Miles Clayton. At number 2, the senior 5'9" Luke Markwell. At number 3, the 5'8" junior Will Bischnauer. At number 4, the 5'9" senior Dylan Brown. At number 5, the 5'8" junior Will Turvey. At number 12, the 6'1" senior Ryan Johnson. At number 14, the 5'8" sophomore Jake McConnell. And freshman 6'1", number 15, Baron Odom. At number 21, the junior 6'2" Zane Anthony. At number 22, the 5'10" freshman Drake Howard. At number 24, the 6'1" senior Cameron Himesness. And then rounding out the team is number 35, the 6'4" senior Bryce Frederick. Upcoming games: Taylorville will head to take on Lincoln tomorrow night right here at Dolph Stanley. We'll have pregame at 7:15. Then Taylorville will head off to Mahomet, take on the Mahomet Seymour Bulldogs on December 14th, before wrapping up with a game against Mattoon on December 16th before the Christmas holiday tournament, as they take on the Bulldogs, as they take on the Green Wave, At all those games, 7:15, Lincoln and Mattoon will both be home games while Mahomet is away. All right, we've got the national anthem coming our way here in just a few moments here, so we're going to kick it back to another break. We'll be right back. You're listening to WTIM.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dolph Stanley Court here at Taylorville High School for tonight's Apollo Conference contest between the Charleston Trojans and your Taylorville Tornadoes. At this time, would you please rise? Gentlemen, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem. Let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for the visitors, the Trojans of Charleston High School, who enter play with a 4-2 record overall, 1-0 in the Apollo Conference. At one forward, a 6'5" senior, number 24, Jackson Braun. At the other forward, a 6'2" junior, number 11, William Applegate. At a guard, a 5'9" senior, number 3, Grady Smitley. At guard, a 6'1" senior, number 14, Jackson Becker. And at guard, a 6'2" junior, number 33, Caleb Oakley. The Trojans are coached by A.J. Alexander. And now, entering play with a record of 1 win and 2 losses, the starting lineup for your Taylorville Tornadoes. At 1 forward, a 6'1" senior, number 24, Cameron Heimsness. At the other forward, a 6'4" senior, number 35, Bryce Frederick. At guard, a 5'8" junior, number 3, Will Bischenauer. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 4, Dylan Brown. And at guard, a 5'9" senior, number 2, Luke Markwell. The Tornadoes are coached by Ryan Brown, assisted by Doug Bauscher, Max Wilson, and Brendan Michael. Coaches for this contest are Steve McClurk, Kevin Hermes, and Doug Simmons.
Wilby Jackson, Braun, and of course Bryce Frederick. And we'll be getting underway here in just a moment. Glad to have you with us. Here we go, and the tip is up over to Luke Markwell, and we're underway. A quick handoff to Cameron Heimsness, who threw it down to Bryce Frederick. Frederick misses, and it's going to go the other way on the alley-oop. Grady Smitley down over the right-hand side, down to Caleb Oakley, then back up top, trying to swing it around the post as Smitley brings it over to the right wing. Smitley holding on to it, now cuts over the left-hand side, now looking for an opening. Tries to drive in, doesn't have any room, has to kick it out to Braun. Brown hits a 3, and again, that's something we talked about. It's limiting those threes. That was a quick one right there. 3-0, 7:29 left in favor of Charleston. Now driving down the other way, Will Bischenauer over to Heimsness, brings it over to Dylan Brown. Brown holding on to it, now kicking over the right-hand side, over to Luke Markwell. Markwell tries to find an opening. Bischenauer slips, so he has to kick it over to Bryce Frederick. Frederick now over to Heimsness on the right wing. Heimsness drives towards the free throw line, cuts in the paint, and puts it in for a quick, easy layup from Cameron Heimsness. 3-2. 7:06 left here in the first quarter. Charleston now bringing it down the other way. Caleb Oakley over that right-hand side, getting it over to Grady Smitley. Smitley now trying to push over the left-hand side, doesn't have any room. Has to pass it over to William Applegate. Applegate slides it over to Braun. Braun drives in, another shot off the mark to the left, and right there to pick up the rebound is Dylan Brown. Brown bringing the ball down now over the right-hand side, takes it himself, goes up for the layup, no good. It's blocked, and the shot comes up short. Now going the other way. 3-2, still 6:39 left. Now coming over the left-hand side, looking for an opening on that left-hand side is William Applegate. Applegate feeding it over the right-hand side over to Caleb Oakley, and then Oakley down to the corner to Braun. Braun holding on to it, now cuts over the right wing, farther up out of the post, and cutting it in. Braun tries to drive under the basket, goes up with it, no good, and Frederick with the rebound. Good rebound from Bryce Frederick. Now carrying it over to Will Bischenauer, 3, short. But right there is Cameron Heimsness. Heimsness picks it up, goes off his hands, and no signal from the referee yet. Now they're going to say it's Taylor ball. 3-2, 6:13 left here in the first quarter. Glad to have you with us as we get things underway here. All right, passes it in over to Luke Markwell over on that right wing. Takes his time. Now starts his dribble over towards the Taylorville logo in the center of the court. Passes it over to Bryce Frederick. Frederick now hands it off to Markwell. Markwell drives, fakes a shot, now kicks over to Bryce Frederick. Frederick airballs the 3 short, goes out of bounds, and it'll be Charleston ball. Charleston leads this game 3-2 here, just underway. 5:56 left in the first quarter. Glad to have you with us as we get things ready to go. All right, driving over to that right side. Now looking for opening. Cutting it over. Tries to drive in. Quick shot. Good on the right-hand side from Caleb Oakley. And it's 5-2, and Taylorville will take a timeout. All right, 5-2, 5:39 left here in the first quarter. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more from Taylorville. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. We pause for 30 seconds. All right, welcome back to Taylorville. Taylorville down 5-2, trying to drive over is Taylorville. Bryce Frederick over to Luke Markwell. Markwell drives in after a miss. Now fake in, under backdoor to Dylan Brown. And Brown puts it in. Great backdoor pass, went through 2 defenders and up with the shot, and Brown puts it in. Now cutting over the left-hand side, William Applegate. Applegate tries to go through. But right there is Luke Markwell who knocks it out of bounds. The ball will stay with Charleston. Charleston leads 5-4, 5:14 left here in the first quarter. Now passing it in is Caleb Oakley. Oakley getting it into Grady Smitley. Smitley cutting over the right-hand side. Now looks over. Back to Oakley. Oakley tried to fake out Heimsness. Now kicks it over the left-hand side. Shot. And good from, who is that? William Applegate with a 3. And it's 8-4. Again, those threes, we know they're dangerous. Taylorville going to need to do a better job of boxing out on those. Trying to drive over the right-hand side. That's Brown holding on to it. Cuts it over to an errant pass that gets picked off, and a quick, easy bucket for William Applegate. He's got 5 so far. 10-4 in favor of Charleston. Taylorville's never out of these games. I know they're down by 6 right now, but it's really, really early. And teams just feeling each other out still really, really early in this game. Luke Markwell over the left-hand side. Cutting over towards the free throw line. Now drives in on the right-hand side. Kicks it out to Bischnauer, and airballs a 3. Thought that went in, just short. 4:18 left here in the first quarter. 10-4 in favor of Charleston. Now Taylorville pressing a little bit. 3/4 court press. And ball comes down over to Oakley. Oakley nearly traveled. He did not, though, and kicks it over to Burgess. Burgess airballs it right into the hands of Luke Markwell. Now Markwell driving down, cutting over, driving around, twisting, turning, up with the shot. And whistle. It's going to be a foul. 3:59 left. We have our first foul here in the first quarter. Foul is going to be on Caleb Oakley, his first, team first. And it's 10-4. Another timeout is taken. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. Glad to have you with us here as we are middle of the first quarter. My words are all stumbling over each other. 5 points for William Applegate, 3 points for Jackson Braun, and 2 points for Caleb Oakley. For Taylorville, Cameron Heimsness and Dylan Brown both have a bucket tonight, as they're just getting their feet wet. Again, Taylorville missing a week last week and trying to get going here again. Really, the difference has been the 2 threes that were hit by Applegate and Braun. That's 6 points right there. Still 4-4. But it is 10-4, and for Taylorville, they're really going to need to capitalize on misses. When Charleston misses their 3-point shots, Taylorville's really going to need to go in there. Again, we don't want the Charleston going on any runs. That's something that Coach Brown talked about in the pregame. But really what we want to do is just get in there and limit those runs and then score when they miss. And that's something that Coach Brown will be obviously telling them in this timeout, and just trying to get them back on their feet and getting them going. Again, they're ready to go. It's just a matter of getting in there, executing. We know what the offense is. We know what that is. But we also know that defense is what's best here. So it's definitely something we're going to need to really, really watch here. Cameron Heimsness getting ready to inbounds the ball here under the basket. Gets it to Frederick. Frederick backdoor, no good, too strong. And picked up on the rebound by Oakley. Oakley driving down now over towards the center of the court. Kicks it over the right-hand side, then back up top. Driving in is Applegate. Applegate runs out of room and has to get out to Oakley. Oakley runs out of room himself. Now getting over the left-hand side. All of them are driving in towards the free throw line, then running out of room and kicking it right back out. And now a pass in off a backdoor feed goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Taylor. It'll go to Taylorville. 3:37 left here in the first quarter. 10-4 in favor of Charleston. Bringing the ball down now. Grady Smitley or not Grady Smitley, sorry. Will Bischnauer brings it down, cutting it over to Dylan Brown. Brown over to Himes on the right-hand side and getting it in to Frederick. Frederick holding on to it, looks over to his left and now kicks it over to Bischnauer. Open 3 and hits it. And that's exactly what Taylorville needed right then and there, 10-7. And Bischnauer has such a dangerous 3-point shot, and all he needs is a little bit of room, and he's going to hit it. And he hit it right then and there. Oakley over to Grady Smitley. 3:06 left here in the first quarter. Now gets it over to Kendall Pankey. Pankey checked into the game. Pankey holding on to it, driving over to the left-hand side, trying to feed it in. He does feed it in. And who else but Braun? Jackson Braun picks up his second bucket of the night, and it's 12-7. He's got 5. Now Taylorville bringing the ball down. Luke Markwell cutting it over to Bryce Frederick. Frederick holding on to it. Now looking into his left. Tries to do the same play that Charleston did, feeding it into Heimsness. But the pass is too strong, and it goes out of bounds. Oh, but it went off a Charleston player, so it'll stay with Taylorville. Taylorville down 12-7 here in the first. 2:42 left. Trying to cut it in. Drives over it. Will Bischnauer. No room. Has to get over Brown. Brown now driving over the right-hand side. Has a little bit of a lane, but kicks it out to Heimsness. Heimsness drives the line and fouled as he scores. Big end one for Cameron Heimsness. Heimsness drive the baseline, went up and got hacked by Caleb Oakley. Oakley picks up his second foul, but more importantly, Cameron Heimsness got the bucket, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play. Checking in is Jackson Becker. Becker checking in for Oakley. Heimsness will have one shot. Taylorville down 12-9 here. 2:31 left here in the first quarter. First shot from Heimsness is no good. Airballed it for the most part. Might have hit the front of the net, but really no good. And now a pass gets kicked by Will Bischnauer. He'll stay with Charleston. Bischnauer jumped way high in the air and just kicked the ball. You won't see that too many times. Here we go. Taylorville back at a half-court press now. Nothing really going as they get into their 2-3 zone. Driving over the right-hand side now is William Applegate. Applegate over to Pankey. Pankey doesn't have any real estate, so he's got to get rid of it. Over the right-hand side to Braun. Braun over towards the free throw line. 3 by Smitley, no good. And goes out of bounds. They're going to say Taylorville touched it. It's going to stay with Charleston. 2:04 left here in the first quarter. 12-9 in favor of the Trojans. 2 Apollo Conference teams facing off tonight in Taylorville's first Apollo Conference matchup of the year. Braun over the right-hand side. Or no, excuse me, that's Becker over the right-hand side. He hits a 3, and it's 15-9. Now cutting over to the left is Taylorville. That's Luke Markwell. Markwell travels. Markwell slipped, and his feet didn't have any traction, and he ended up giving up the ball. Shaking his head in disgust. He knew what he did. And so it'll be a turnover as William Applegate will inbounds the ball. Gets it over to Grady Smitley. Smitley holding on to it. Now cutting over to the left to Kendall Pankey. Pankey loses the ball, but barely picked up by Smitley, and now they have some room. And now kick. I was going to say Bryce Frederick kicked it, and it'll stay with Charleston. 15-9, 1:38 left here. And the pattern that we've seen very similar this year is they'll give up a little bit of a lead in the first quarter and then play catch-up the rest of the game. And every time they catch up, the other team will take off again. That's been kind of the story here early in the first quarter. We'll see if Taylorville can reverse it. As driving in the lane is Pankey. No good. Has to kick it out to Braun. Braun over to the right-hand side, and now nearly a travel from Grady Smitley, but no call. Getting over the left-hand side, holding onto it, looking for an opening as they're trying to drive over. Has no room, and they're just going to go around the perimeter now. Oakley over to Becker. Becker now in, and no good, too strong from Smitley, and it'll be Taylorville ball. Now trying to drive down. He's got room, gets over to Heimsness. Quick layup, and good from Cameron Heimsness on the fast break. Heimsness has 6. And now stolen by Bryce Frederick, who stays in bounds. Drives over the left-hand side. He's got room. Shoots an open 3. And no good, too strong. Cuts over the left-hand side, but that would have been a huge, huge 3 if Frederick would have hit that. As it sits, though, 15-11, 49 seconds left here in the first after a big steal from him. Kendall Pankey on their right wing. Over to the far left post. No good, short. And Bryce Frederick got beat by Braun out the rebound. And now Braun gets fouled by Frederick. So Bryce Frederick will pick up his first foul of the night and Taylorville's first foul of the night. Hold on. As they get ready to go here. Getting ready to shoot is Jackson Braun. Shot is good. It's 16-11, 36 seconds left here in the first quarter. Again, like I said, that was Frederick's first foul. Team first. But the whole first quarter with only 1 foul so far. Braun hits both shots. He's got 7. Taylorville bringing the ball down with 30 seconds left. You know they will wait for that last shot. Ryan Brown or Dylan Brown, over the right-hand side to Cameron Himesness. Himesness holding onto it near the middle. 20 seconds left, holding and waiting. Brown comes up to cover. The handoff. Now Braun across court over to Markwell. Markwell back to Brown. Brown to Frederick at the top of the key. Frederick hands off to Himesness. Himesness drives over. 6-5-4. Himesness goes up, has his shot blocked twice in a row. And now picked up by Frederick, who airs up a three, and no good. As that was a quick little exchange of hand, and a couple turnovers, but no points to show for it. End of the first quarter, 17-11 in favor of Charleston. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. We'll be right back in just 1 minute.
THS! Hey, let's hear it! We're ready to show our pride and spirit. We wish you good luck with a big hello. H-E-L-L-O. Let's go! 2, 3. Let's go! Let's go, Seagull!
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification before we really get going here again. Just underway here in Taylorville, Illinois. Start of the second quarter here as we get things going. Charleston moving the ball around very, very healthily as Oakley hits a three, no good, but Braun puts it right back in on the rebound. And that's something that Taylorville really talked about, is being able to get in there and stop those rebounds. 19-11 in favor of Charleston. Brown over to Miles Clayton, who's checked into the game here. Miles Clayton wearing that number 0. Over to Brown on the right-hand side, and over to Cameron Himesness. Himesness holding onto it in the right wing, and back over to Brown. Brown thought about shooting, changes his mind, drives in, does a fader, and gets the hit. Dylan Brown putting up a huge basket. 19-13, 7-10 left in the first half. Kendall Pankey over to the left-hand side, now driving baseline, no good. And Cameron Himesness picks it up as that was Applegate who drove. Now Taylorville on the fast break. Himesness to Brown. Brown with a three, short, and going to be fighting for the ball, and it's going to be a jump. It's going to stay with Taylorville. 19-13, 6:54 left here in the first half. Glad to have you with us here as we get things going. Good crowd on hand for a Monday night game, Monday night makeup game. Purple Pride here wearing all black tonight. Markwell over to Brown over the right wing. The motions for Bischenauer to move. Bischenauer does. Now Brown kicks it over the right-hand side back to Markwell. Markwell has a little bit of room, hesitates and has the ball stolen. And then picking up a foul will be Taylorville. Ran out of real estate, got beat, knew he got beat, so it's going to be a quick foul on Taylorville. Picking up that foul was Luke Markwell, his first, team second. And the first foul for any team here in the second quarter. Fouls are at a minimum tonight. Been a quiet, clean game, 2 fouls apiece here early in the second quarter. Pankey over to Oakley. Oakley back over to Applegate. Applegate holding on to it. And now gets to Smitley over the right-hand side. Smitley over to Pankey over in the left wing. Then cross-court pass down to Smitley on the right-hand side. Smitley to Braun. Braun tries to go in, does not get it, but does get fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot too. Braun, they're probably Charleston's most dangerous player. Charleston beat Mount Zion by 20, or lost to Mount Zion by 20, and then turned around and beat them again. Beat them a couple days later by 20. So you never know what kind of Charleston team you're going to get. When they're hitting their threes, they're really, really good. But when they're not, it's anybody's game. Braun to the line. First shot is up and good. He's having himself already a quiet, great night as he has 11 points so far. 10 points. Will this be 11? We'll see. Here we go. Free throw is set. Braun looks up at the basket. Free throw is up and good. A perfect 4 for 4 from him from the charity stripe. Taylorville will try to answer back. Brown over to Miles Clayton. Clayton drives the line. Behind the back layup, no good, and picked up by Braun. 21-13, 6:02 left here in the first half. Now driving baseline, no good, but has an open shot on a three, no good, too strong. And picked up by a Taylorville player. That is Miles Clayton with the rebound somehow. The smallest guy got the rebound. Clayton loses his footing and slips. The ball pops out right into the hands of Oakley. Oakley to Braun. Braun fakes him out, then drives in, quick shot, and a big run for Charleston. Causes Taylorville to take a timeout. It's a 10-point lead for Charleston, 23-13 with 5:40 left here in the first half. Take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be back in 30 seconds right here on WTIM, your information station. And welcome back to Taylorville, Illinois. Dolph Stanley Court, 23-13. Charleston with their largest lead of the game at 10, 23-13. As they look to extend their lead a little bit here. Taylorville trying to cut into that, though. Keep the damage to a minimum. Dylan Brown bringing the ball down over the left-hand side to Will Turvey. Turvey holding on to it, then getting over to Hymses. Hymses into Frederick on the basket, slips, but able to hang on to his dribble. Up, puts up the shot, no good. And Taylorville's shooting has been poor so far here in this first half. Oakley, on the left-hand side, three, no good from Charleston. And that was Dunklin putting up that shot here, I believe. Nope, it was Applegate. Hymses, oh man, gets it over to Drake Howard. And Howard was fouled, like hit hard, but no call. Now it's going to go the other way off the miss. Kendall Pankey bringing the ball down now. Pankey holding on to it, getting over the right-hand side. Another three, good from Braun. And now another timeout taken from Taylorville. 26-13, 4:47 left here in the second quarter. Taylorville playing bench players here early. It's not a move that we normally see from Taylorville. Is their bench players playing a lot of minutes here early. It's something different. 26-13, 4:47 left here in the first half. As Taylorville finds themselves down. Really, Jackson Braun doing most of the damage here. He's got 16 of the 26 points that have been scored by him. William Applegate has 5, Oakley has 2. But for Taylorville, they're going to have to figure out a way to limit the shots from Jackson Braun. And so far, they're just not doing that. And their shots have been just not hitting. They're taking a little bit to get warmed up. And Coach Brown said that at Saturday's practice, they were having trouble hitting their shots. They joked that if they would have played Charleston on Saturday, they probably would have lost 19-18 because they were so chippy and their defense was so good. But for Taylorville, it's been kind of a struggle to get points at a premium. And we kind of knew that coming into the season was that their defense was going to carry them. But right now, they're going to need to figure out a way to limit the trouble from Jackson Braun. All right. Midway through the second quarter, 26-13, 4:47 left here in the second as Taylorville tries to cut into this deficit a little bit. Brown spins, gets over to Hymses. Hymses drives, kicking over to Markwell open. Markwell too strong, right into the hands of Brown. Brown fades baseline, gets it over to Frederick. Frederick tries to drive in, doesn't have anything going. Ball gets knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be Charleston ball. 26-13, 4:31 left here in the first half. Getting over the right-hand side, that's Oakley. Oakley over the left to Pankey. Pankey holding on to it, then getting it over to Smitley. Smitley sets, waits, now hands it over to Applegate, who misses the three. Taylorville with the rebound. Brown down to Markwell. Markwell drives, stops his foot, Tries to get it out, does kick it out. Bischenauer from downtown, no good. And right there to pick up the rebound is William Applegate. 26-13, 3:55 left here in the second. Oakley trying to drive on Heimsness, doesn't have any room. And a carry, and it'll be Taylorville ball. First break that Taylorville's really caught tonight. 26-13, 3:50 left here in the second quarter. Get things going midway through the second. Markwell over to Brown. Brown across midcourt, holding on to it. Looking for an opening over in the right. As Markwell moving, now Markwell sets, waits. Over to Frederick. Frederick now waits. To Brown on the right. To Bischenauer, and Bischenauer's going to get fouled. Picking up the foul will be Jackson Braun, his first. That'll be a timeout taken. Let's hold on. It's not Braun. It's not Braun. Excuse me. The foul's going to be on Grady Smitley, his first. Team third, again, fouls at kind of a premium tonight. They just have not been a whole lot of them. Very clean basketball so far. 3 fouls apiece. Charleston leads midway through the second, 26-13 with 3:30 left here in the second quarter. Glad to have you with us. Hope you're having a fantastic night. Big thank you to Tommy TV for their help tonight, along with WTIM, your information station for all the latest news, sports information. Head on over to the Big 870, 96.1 FM in Taylorville. 26-13, 3:30 left here in the second quarter as we are in the middle of timeout. And again, for Taylorville, just been a quiet second quarter. Only 2 points to show for it. They were outscored in the first, 17-11. They're currently being outscored 9-2, with Braun doing all of the scoring here in the second quarter. Really, it's been Braun, Brown. 9 points for Braun, 2 points for Brown, and that's where we sit here in the second, 26-13. Timeout is over. Teams are coming back out onto the floor here. Again, Charleston Trojans lead your Taylorville Tornadoes 26-13 here. Taylorville sits at 1-2 after missing all of last week due to COVID. Frederick over to Bischenauer, then to Markwell at the top of the key. Markwell feeds it to Frederick. Frederick gets grabbed, though, as he cuts around under the basket. And there'll be another foul on Charleston. Taylorville will take the ball out. That foul is on William Applegate, his first. And now foul's starting to pick up a little bit as I said that. Heimsness to Markwell under the basket. Markwell drives on Oakley. Kicks it out to Brown underneath, and good movement from Taylorville. Brown picks up his 6th point of the night. 26-15, 3:12 left. Applegate over to Smitley, then over the left-hand side as Pankey tries to drive in. No good. Has to kick it back out. Runs out of real estate. Over the right-hand side to Pankey. Pankey now pushes in. Tries to go up with it. No good. Too strong. Gets his own rebound. Now a whole bunch of hands come in. And it's going to be a foul on Taylorville. The classic over-the-back reach-in. And that will be a foul on Markwell, his second, team 4th. Foul is tied 4-4. 26-15, though, is the score as Charleston leads by 9 here midway through the second. Motioning for movement, has it. Kicks it out to Smitley. Charleston now. Oakley spins on the base or free throw line, puts it up. Dramatics, but doesn't get a foul, but does get the basket as he gets his second bucket of the night. Now trying to drive the other way, and foul as he goes up for the basket. And he'll go to the line to shoot too, as Taylorville will go to the line. 28-15. Heading to the line to shoot will be Dylan Brown. Now foul is on Seth Howell, his first, team 5th. Brown to the line to shoot. We'll see what he can do from the free throw line. First free throw is up. No good, too strong. Dylan Brown has 6 points so far. 6 of the 15 have been scored by him. Dribbles the ball a couple times, sets, now shoots the second free throw. That one's on the money, and he's 1 for 2 from the line. 28-16, 7-point for him. Hopefully bringing the ball down as Taylorville once again pressing here just a little bit. As Mischnauer is right in there trying to cause some trouble. Nearly picks off the ball. Instead, it goes to Applegate. Applegate over the left-hand side to Oakley. Oakley back up top to Smitley. Smitley now throws the ball away on the pass. It's back to Oakley. I keep wanting to say Charles Oakley. NBA fans will know why I'm doing that. Otherwise, it's Caleb Oakley. Caleb Oakley is the guy that we're talking about, not Charles. Dylan Brown bringing the ball down now for Taylorville, coming down on that right-hand side, looking for an opening bounce pass into Frederick. Frederick drives the lane, quick shot, too strong, gets his own rebound again, and finally puts it in and gets fouled. Frederick's first points of the night. And he'll try to make a three-point play here on the N1. Picking up the foul will be Seth Howell, his second, team sixth. Frederick sets, first free throw up. Nothing but net. So he gets the three-point play. It's 28-19. Grady Smitley bringing the ball down, getting over to Oakley. Taylorville pressing. Mischnauer trying to get in there, cause disturbances. Gets it over to Applegate. Applegate tries driving in. He'll get fouled. Oh, they're going to say it's on Taylorville. Boy, that was a late call on that one. Frederick was in the right spot at the right time, but he's going to pick up his foul, and he's going to get in trouble for that. So that'll be the second foul for Bryce Frederick. And it's 28-19, 6-5 on the fouls. 1:52 left here in the second quarter. First free throw from Applegate is good. Let's see if we can make the second one. It's 29-19. No good. Right there to pick up the rebound is Luke Markwell. Markwell bringing the ball down now. Cross midcourt, looking over the left-hand side. Tries to cut over the right-hand side past the free throw line. Fakes a bounce pass, instead throws it up to Frederick. Frederick spins up and good. And Bryce Frederick waking up a little bit. 29-21 here. 95 seconds left here in the second quarter. Smitley has to stop his dribble. Gets it over the right-hand side. Taylorville press working very, very well. So they're trying to figure it out. Smitley holding on to it. And oh my goodness, Brown with a nice jab. And gets it over to Oakley as Oakley knocks it out of bounds. But it'll stay with Charleston as the pass really read it the whole way, just threw it out of bounds. Smitley to Applegate. Applegate waits, now takes a couple dribbles. Minute 17. Now Oakley trying to drive over the right-hand side. Still nothing going there as they're just sitting near midcourt, passing the ball back and forth from one side of the court to the other. Now down in the far right lane to Applegate. Now cuts it into Braun. Braun spins, shoots, short. And right there is put it up. Oh, and another foul from Markwell. We'll go to the line to shoot. Markwell's going to have to come out of this game. 29-21, Markwell can't believe it. He's still asking the ref what happened. But regardless, Becker will go to the line to shoot. That'll be Markwell's third foul here early. 29-21, 55 seconds left. Free throw is up and good from Jackson Becker. Charleston to shoot the free throws again. Becker shoots the second free throw, good. 2 for 2 from the Charleston Trojan, who has yet to miss any free throws. Charleston's hit all of their free throws tonight, 6 for 6. Cameron Himesness on the left-hand side feeds it to Brown in the basket. Brown gets the ball knocked out on a big block from William Applegate. 31-21 in favor of Charleston. Got about 43 seconds left here in the first half. Himesness feeds it to Miles Clayton. Good shot. Clayton backdoored that perfectly. It's 31-23. Trying to drive down on that left-hand side. Running Applegate, and Applegate puts it in. Quick 2 points from him. Taylorville working fast now. 28 seconds left. Himesness. Over to Brown. Brown holds on that right-hand side. Now starts his dribble. And they're going to wait 15 seconds. Frederick. Himesness cuts over the free throw line. Bounces between his legs. Feeds it to Frederick. Frederick back out to Himesness. Oh, bounced a bunch of times up on the basket before going in. And nothing on the three. We head to halftime, 33-23 in favor of Charleston. We'll be right back and listening to WTIM, your information station.
Award-winning Taylorville dance team under the direction of Heather Rowland. Your 21-22 Taylorville dance team.
Taylorville was outscored 17-11 in the first, made it a little bit of a better second quarter. 15-12 they were outscored in the second. So Taylorville really going to need to figure out their offensive plan here moving forward here in this second half. And it's not from a lack of shooting. Taylorville's been shooting the ball well. They've just, Charleston's defense has really done a good job of really limiting the amount of shots that Taylorville's been making or taking. And when they have been shooting, they haven't been hitting, and that's been a big story so far here early in this game, has been Taylorville's shooting woes. It's something that they're really going to need to work on here moving forward in this third quarter, and seeing if they're able to continue this drive as far as being able to shut down some of those corners and shut down some of those lanes. Because when you look at this team and what they've been able to do, that's really been the story, is they've never been out of it. And even there in the second quarter, you saw some flashes where Taylorville looked like they were poised to crawl back into this game, but really at the end of the day, they still find themselves down by 10. Miles Clayton with 2 points so far. Will Bischenauer with a lone three in the first quarter. By the way, that three continues the streak of threes hit. That's right, I've yet to call it Taylorville. There has not been every game so far over the last 3 years, Taylorville's hit a three. And it's probably gone further than that. That's just as long as I've been here. Dylan Brown with 7 points. Cameron Hymes with 6. Bryce Frederick with 5. For the Charleston Trojans, William Applegate with 7 points. He has the lone free throw miss. said they were perfect. They do have one free throw miss. 5 points for Jackson Becker. Maybe. See, did I get that right? Yeah, they're both next to each other. Jackson Burgess and Jackson Becker. That's my fault. They're like right next to each other with names. Jackson Becker with 5 points. Jackson Braun, he's had himself a night. 16 points so far for him, and Caleb Oakley with 4. We talked about it at the beginning of the game a little bit, but Taylorville's really going to need to figure out a way to limit the points from Braun. And Braun had 7 points in the first and 9 in the second. Taylor's really going to need to figure out a way to slow down that attack from Jackson Braun and what he's been able to do against this Taylorville defense. So you look at this team, you look at what they've been able to do so far, it hasn't been from lack of trying. Taylorville's been shooting a ton of shots. They just have not been falling. And so when you look at this team, they're really going to need to figure out a way to get that going here. Again, patience, looking for those easy shots. And I just haven't seen them be physical completely on screens. Let's see if they can change that up. 33-23 here, 4:06 left in the first, or in the halftime, little halftime break that we have going on here. As again, Taylorville outscored 17-11 in that first quarter. It took Taylorville a little while to get going with their shots. But once they were able to start hitting those shots, you could kind of see the momentum starting to shift as the pressure moved down and they really started to do that 3/4 court press and pushing forward on that side to limit the amount of opportunities that Charleston had moving forward. But really, when you look at this team, that's something that they're going to need to continue to do. I think there should be no excuses about being tired or anything like that. This team had a nice little break. I say break. I know those guys were chomping at the bit, ready to get getting back into it. But big shout out to you if you're listening tonight. Appreciate you listening in. Hope all is going well with you on this Monday evening. Taylorville back in action tomorrow night, right here, same time, same channel. As Taylorville will take on the Lincoln Rail Splitters in Taylorville. Lincoln, always a tough challenge. Taylorville will have their work cut out for them tomorrow night against Lincoln. Then another break. And we'll have action against at Muhammad on December 14th. And then at home versus Mattoon on December 16th. And so we'll see what happens with that. All right, take one more break. When we come back, we'll have more from you right here on WTIM, your information station. We'll be right back with third quarter action. Taylorville, Illinois, Dolph Stanley Court. As we get ready to go here for the third quarter. 33-23 in favor of Charleston. Jackson Braun, 16 of those 33 points. He's already above his average for a game. Taylorville really going to need to do a better job of shutting him down. As Caleb Oakley gets ready to inbounds the ball for Charleston. As we get ready to go underway here in the third quarter. On the floor, Will Turvey, Dylan Brown, Bryce Frederick, Cameron Heimsness, and Will Bischnauer. Jackson Becker over to Oakley at the top of the key, then over the left-hand side around the horn as they're trying to get some room. Braun with a long pass over to Oakley, barely stayed in bounds. And back and forth, a little bit of back and forth between him and Smitley as they continue to go back and forth. Oakley, Smitley, couple dribbles, then back. And now we see Charleston really slowing down their attack here. They're not driving nearly as much as they were. Applegate, and the ball gets tipped right into the hands of the bottom of the court by Becker. 7:16, nearly a minute now with the ball. And now a timeout taken as Charleston just could not get the ball in at all to drive. So Charleston will set up a play and a quick timeout here. 7:14 left. Whole lot of scoring. I'm just kidding. There's been no scoring here in the third quarter. 33-23 here early in this second half. Taylorville finds themselves down by 10. Foul troubles, Luke Markwell has 3. Bryce Frederick has 2. For Charleston, Seth Howell and Caleb Oakley both have 2. Applegate and Smitley with 1. That's been the foul so far here in the game. Because of Luke Markwell's foul trouble, Will Turvey is in the game. 33-23, 7:14 left here in the third quarter. Leroy Clemola here with you. Hope all is going well on this Monday evening. Now on the far side, Oakley brings the ball in to Grady Smitley, and we're underway again. Trying to see if they can find an opening as Taylorville defense stands strong. Heading over the right-hand side, nearly picked off by Heimsness. Drives in as Oakley wide open, and Oakley hits it. Oakley hits the 3. And Charleston picking up right where they left off, 36-23 with the big 3. Brown feeds to Frederick. Frederick spins, fakes out Braun, and now Braun gets fouled. And now they're trying to talk about it a little bit. And Frederick will go to the line to shoot on Braun's foul. Bryce Frederick to the line to shoot. Frederick's just 1 for 1 on free throws. Becker talking to the referee. Frederick at the line. Looks in, shoots, and good. First second free throw for him. He's 2 for 2 from the charity stripe so far. Gets ready to shoot his second free throw. Shakes his hand, dribbles a couple times, sets a shot. Good. 3 for 3 from him from the line. Now going the other way, 36-25. Taylorville again pressing. This Will Turvey up. Trying to get it across court. Oakley tries to get it. He does. Over to Braun. Braun, bounce pass around the horn. Wide open shot, 3 too strong from Becker. And now trouble on the floor as they both come crashing down hard. And it'll be Charleston ball. Now a substitution. As Becker comes off the court. Feeds it into Oakley at the top of the key. Now trying to drive in over on that right-hand side. Braun dribbling slowly, gets it over, nearly picked off, but instead gets in the hands of Smitley. Smitley over to Pankey. Pankey back up top. Back and forth, nothing going, can't drive in at all. Braun has some room, hesitates, instead gets the lane closed down. Now trying to go around. Up top, back to the middle of the court. Taylorville defense again doing a very good job of limiting trouble. Up top to Smitley. Smitley bounce pass over the right-hand side to Braun. Braun back to Smitley. Smitley holding on to it, takes a couple steps back, and back over to the right. Taylorville defense. Now wide open shot, and good from Applegate. They lulled them to sleep. 2 for 2 on threes here in the third quarter. And Bischnauer tries to answer back with a three of his own. No good, too strong. It's the back part of the rim and bounces harmlessly away. Feeding it over the left-hand side. Bounce pass in. Spins. Shot. Braun. Good. Jackson Braun with his first bucket of the second half. He's got 18 of the 41 points. 41-25 in favor of Charleston. Bischnauer again. Too strong off to the left-hand side. Bounces harmlessly away. 5:11 left here in the third quarter. Caleb Oakley bringing the ball down over the right. Over to Braun. Braun back to Oakley. Oakley no good on 3 too strong. Frederick gets the rebound from Dylan Brown. Both of them fighting for the rebound there. Heimsness over the left-hand side. Cuts in. Euro step. Bischnauer short. Right in the hands of Cameron Heimsness. Heimsness drives again. And now he gets fouled. And Kendall Pankey's going to pick up that foul. He can't believe it. What did I do, ref? What did I do? That'll be his first, team second. Now a hold as the player checks in. That is Jackson Becker checking back in. And he will check in for Caleb Oakley. Cameron Heimsness inbounds the ball, 41-25 in favor of Charleston. Brown cuts over the free throw line, spins, kicks it out to Will Turvey. Turvey to Brown. Brown nearly tripped up. Now Brown cutting over to the left to Bischnauer. Bischnauer back over to Brown. Brown motioning for movement. Tells Turvey to get out of the way. Turvey moves over the left-hand side to Heimsness. Feeds it to Frederick. Frederick spins, gets some room. Over to Brown. No good, too strong on the three. Frederick with the rebound. Turvey, bounce pass into Heimsness on the basket, and Heimsness gets fouled and gets the shot. Heimsness gets fouled hard by Jackson Braun. And once again, talking to the ref is Kendall Pankey. LeBron picks up his second foul. Heimsness with a great backdoor pass, gets fouled, he'll go to the line to shoot, and hits it. Taylorville's free throws have been all right tonight, too. 4 for 5 for them. Now Taylorville trying to press again, 41-28. Taylorville not out of it yet, but they're going to have to do a better job of limiting these threes. Brown nearly picks it off. Smithley instead hangs onto it, cuts in. Taylorville being much more aggressive now. And now trying to drive over the right. Up at the top is Kendall Pankey. Pankey cuts over the left. Three, no good. Right there to pick up the rebound is Brown. That was Becker with that shot, and now both guys landing on top of each other and pulling each other off. Taylorville ball. Heimsness into Will Turvey. Turvey back to Heimsness, then over to Brown. Brown cutting over the left to Turvey. Turvey nearly trips up on his steps, but is able to hold on to it. Gets over to Heimsness. Heimsness holds on to it in the left wing. To Brown. Brown spins, fakes, stops his shot. Now he's in trouble. Got to get rid of it. Does to Bischnauer. Too strong on the three. Airballs it right into the hands of Jackson Becker. Now Becker loses the ball. Now Bischnauer spins again and has the ball just taken out of his hands by William Applegate. Now another foul from a Taylorville player, and boy, landing really, really hard is Dylan Brown. Brown is shaken up pretty good on that one. Coming in will be Luke Markwell. Timeout is taken. Boy, he stood for a blocking foul and just got absolutely decimated. Unfortunately for him, he'll pick up the foul on that one. Very aggressive basketball so far here tonight. Both teams playing really, and the aggressiveness is really starting to pick up. We're starting to see it. 41-28 here, 3:07 left in the third quarter. As Jackson Braun has 18 of the 41 points. And it's really been the story here so far tonight, as the scoring has kind of gotten away from Taylorville a little bit, but still find themselves not completely out of it. 41-28, 3:07 left, couple threes, and Taylorville will be right back into this, but they're really going to, again, like I said earlier, limit the amount of threes that Charleston's making. Charleston leads this one 41-28, 3:07 left here in the third quarter. Fouls are 3-2 in favor of Charleston. They have 3, Taylorville with 2. But again, I think the referees are going to really need to watch this next couple minutes. So we're going to try to keep this game from getting out of control. We'll have to see what happens. 41-28, 3:07 left. Teams coming back out onto the court here. Let's see. We got Heimsness, Frederick, Markwell, Will Turvey, and Will Bischnauer on the court. Bounce pass in, nearly picked off. Instead, it goes right. Braun's able to come away with it somehow. Nearly picked off by Frederick. Instead, it'll be kicked out to Applegate. Applegate takes a couple dribbles. Quiet third quarter so far here from both teams, relatively speaking, as far as points goes. Pankey to Braun. Braun over the right-hand side to Smitley. Smitley holding onto it. Doesn't have too much room. Lobs the pass over the right-hand side. Now cross-court pass over to Braun. Wide open 3, and good from Kendall Pankey. 44-28. Luke Markwell behind his back to Heimsness. Bounce pass in. Frederick sits, waits. Kicks out to Markwell. Markwell over to Turvey. Turvey over the left-hand side, now in over to Heimsness. Heimsness in the far, far corner. Feeds to Frederick. Frederick underneath to Heimsness on a back door. And Heimsness, beautiful feed from Taylorville there. And it's 44-30, 2:14 left. Taylorville again, full court press. The right-hand side is Braun. Braun up top to Smitley. Smitley to Pankey. Pankey back to Smitley. Now bounce pass in. Now again, Pankey wide open, no good. Right there to put it back in is Braun. 46-30, 16-point lead as that's the 20th point for Braun. Bryce Frederick spins, shot, good. Beautiful touch. That's Frederick's first actual field goal of the quarter. 46-32. The Trojans tries to go up with it, and it's William Applegate. Applegate will get fouled as he goes up for the shot. 46-32, 95 seconds left here in the third quarter. That foul will be on Bryce Frederick, his third. Team third. Free throw is up and good from Applegate. 47-32, 95 seconds left here in the third quarter. Charleston with their largest lead of the night. Second free throw up and good as well. And a timeout taken from Taylorville. Nope, they're just going to make a substitution, sorry. As Applegate comes off the court. Here comes Luke Markwell. Markwell driving, getting over to Turvey. Turvey to Heimsness and around to the horn to Bischnauer. Feeds to Frederick in the post. Frederick to Markwell. Markwell fakes a 3, drives. Kicks out to Turvey. No good, too strong, and kicks off the right side of the rim and fades away. Oakley right there to pick up for Charleston. 48-32. To Pankey. Back over to the right, over to Smitley, then in. Pankey holding on to it, cuts over. Tries to get in, has the ball shot blocked by Bryce Frederick and goes out of bounds. And it'll stay with Charleston. 48-32, 57 seconds left here in the third quarter. Quiet third quarter from both teams point-wise. No, 15 points still from Charleston. Quiet third quarter for Taylorville. Fade. Good shot from Grady Smitley. 50-32. Luke Markwell. Markwell out to Frederick. Frederick cuts, spins, shot. No good. Off to the left. Pankey with the rebound. Pankey bringing the ball down now with 33 seconds left. Taylorville still pressing. Turvey. No good. Tries to steal it. Instead, Smitley will try to get it down now. Smitley over to Pankey. Pankey holding onto it, being guarded by Will Turvey. Smitley over to the right. Near midcourt. 15 seconds left. To Braun. Around the horn to Pankey. Pankey's already had a couple threes. 3, and puts it in is Braun on the back door. Taylorville tried to answer back here as time expires, and Bischnauer no good on the 3. Or excuse me, that was Will Turvey. Will Turvey no good on the 3. And that is how the third quarter will end. We'll be right back. 52-32 in favor of Charleston right here on WTIM, your information station. And welcome back to Taylorville, Illinois. Dolph Stanley Court, 20-point lead for Charleston, 52-32 as we wrap up the quarter. Only 9 points for Taylorville there in that third quarter. And here we go with the fourth quarter underway. Brown up at the top of the key over the left-hand side to Markwell. Markwell, who has 3 fouls, has to be careful. Over to Frederick, then the right-hand side to Brown. Brown with the 3. Nope. No good, short. Oh, man. Oakley had it cleanly picked. Markwell over to Frederick. Hits Frederick's shoulder, but right into the hands of Brown. Brown drives baseline. Ball gets knocked out of bounds. And they're going to say it's Charleston ball. All right, 52-32, 7:35 left. Pankey to Oakley. Oakley holding on to it. Behind his back. Trying to drive on Turvey. Getting over the left. Mark Bischnauer. Now. Boy, Pankey just keeps running his mouth about what's going on. Him and Brown have been jawing back and forth. 52-32, 7:28 left as Charleston takes the timeout. 7:28 left here in the fourth quarter. Glad to have you with us as we are having a rare Monday night game. This game was supposed to happen on Saturday. It got postponed until tonight. Coach Brown talked a little bit about the weight that this team had as far as the weight and what they have going on. So, $7:28 left here. (52-32), 7:28 left here. As timeout is over as we get things going here again. Frederick with 3 fouls. Luke Markwell with 3 fouls. Charleston ball. Caleb Oakley inbounds the ball, gets it in to handle Pankey. Pankey driving on Bischnauer. Tries to hand it off. He finally does. Nearly lost it, but does get it over to Smitley. Smitley back to Pankey. Pankey driving in. Cuts it over to the left-hand side. 3 short air balls hit right in the hands of Cameron Heimsness. Heimsness now driving on the left-hand side. Heimsness up with it and no good on the layup. Ball goes out of bounds. They'll go up to shoot 2. Oakley going to pick up the foul on that one. The Oakley's 3rd foul. Team's getting kind of chippy here with the 20-point lead for Charleston. 7:07 left here in the fourth quarter. Cameron Heimsness is to the line to shoot. Free throw is up. And 3 bounces later, it does go in. (33-52), 7:07 left. Free throw is up, no good, in and out. And so Grady Smitley will bring the ball down. Trying to be guarded by Dylan Brown. Over to Pankey. Pankey at the top of the key, bounce pass over to Braun. Braun being guarded by Frederick. Drives on Frederick. Baseline shot. Short. Frederick picks up the rebound. Cuts it out to Heimsness. Heimsness on fast break. Drives in. Quick layup. No good. Tried too hard. It was almost like he tried to finesse it. And now it's stolen by Brown and into the hands of Markwell, but comes away with it as it's just all over the place under the basket, and Braun puts it in. Taylorville just cannot catch a break tonight to save their life. Markwell drives, free throw line, spins, kicks out to Frederick. 3. Beautiful 3 from Bryce Frederick. 54-36. Frederick has 12. Quietly having himself a good, decent night. And Brown picks up a cheap foul. William Applegate to inbounds the ball for Charleston, looking for an opening. Gets it over to the right-hand side. And it's over to Smitley. Smitley cuts over. Gets it over to Applegate. Now Pankey. Pankey drives baseline, loses the ball, tries to save it. Instead, it goes right in the hands of Luke Markwell. Markwell cutting between 4 defenders. Stops to Bischnauer. 3. Will Bischnauer with a 3, and Taylorville crowd fired up. It's 54-39. And a charge, absolute charge. Boy, Charleston just telling the refs what's going on, man. Referees will only put up with so much, I would imagine. But that's going to be on Grady Smitley. That'll be Smitley's second foul. Just play basketball, boys. Dylan Brown driving over the right-hand side to Bischenauer. Back to Brown. Brown fakes the three. Now has a little bit of trouble with it. Has to get rid of it. Does to Bischenauer from downtown. Good. And all of a sudden, it's 54-42, and Charleston is forced to take a timeout. Taylorville fired up. Take a quick break. When we come back, more 12-point lead for Charleston. 54-42. We'll be right back right after this. Stanley Court, Leroy Clamoli here with you on this Monday evening, and Charleston had a 20-point lead at one point in this game. Taylorville has quietly climbed back into this game, still down by a margin, but a little bit better than what it was. It's 54-42, 5:26 left here in the fourth after a couple of three-pointers from Will Bischenauer. Caleb Oakley to inbounds the ball for Charleston. Trying to get it in, running out of time, finally has to hurry, now gets into Braun. Braun now picks up his dribble. Now he starts going over to Frederick. Frederick doing a good job of playing defense against Braun. Gets over to Smitley. Coach Brown not happy about something. Now he loses the ball. Picks it up, and it's going to be an over the back. And it's going to be Taylorville ball. Substitutions made as Miles Clayton checks out. 54-42. We've seen Taylorville do things like this in the past where they bring in one person for defense and one person for offense. That might be what they're doing there. Markwell. Got to be careful with the fouls. Over to Heimsness. Heimsness. Going on Oakley. Oakley gets screened by Frederick. Heimsness to Bischenauer. Oh, in and out. Oh, that was close. Instead, it goes in the hands of Jackson Braun. Braun across midcourt, driving on Frederick. Bounce pass. Nearly losing it is William Applegate. Applegate hangs on to it. Taylorville playing much better basketball here in the fourth than they have all game long. Oakley trying to drive. Gets it out over. In, under the basket. Braun kicks it out. Tries to drive in. Shot. And no good. Frederick with the rebound to Markwell. 54-42. And Charleston's shots have gone relatively cold here. And it's going to be Charleston ball. Ball goes out of bounds. Markwell struggled to try to get the ball up. Was not able to. Oakley then bounce the ball. Gets it in, and now picking up a foul will be Brown. Smitley picks him up. And that'll be 4 fouls on Dylan Brown. He's been playing very aggressive, but it's been getting him in trouble here. 54-42. He's only got one more foul to work with, and there's 4 minutes left. Brown racing in, knocking the ball out of bounds. Boy, he has been passionate here in this fourth quarter. 54-42, 4:20 left here in the fourth. Cutting over, looking for an opening. Doesn't have it. Trying to get it in. Finally gets it into the basket. Smitley races down, being corralled by 2 Taylorville players. Shot is in and good from Becker. And it's 56-42, 14-point lead. Brown over the left wing into Frederick. Frederick on Braun. Spins up. No good on the floater. Right in the hands of Jackson Braun. 56-42, 3:53 left. Oakley, short. No good. Braun picks up the rebound. He tries going over it, and he gets fouled. Again, lots of talking going on under the basket. Both these teams very chippy with each other. I don't like the tension. It feels uncomfortable. 56-42, 3:47 left here in the fourth. And a timeout taken from Taylorville. Yeah, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be right back. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. Dolph Stanley Court, 56-42, 14-point lead for Charleston with 3:47 left here in the fourth quarter. Lots of players in foul trouble after a quiet first couple quarters. Everything's ramped up here in the third and the fourth quarter. 3 fouls for Luke Markwell, 4 fouls for Dylan Brown, 3 fouls for Bryce Frederick, 2 fouls for Grady Smitley on Charleston, 2 fouls for Jackson Braun, 2 fouls for Seth Howell, and 3 fouls for Caleb Oakley. As we are wrapping up here, last 3 minutes and 47 seconds left of the game here. 56-42, Braun to the line to shoot. After Heimses has picked up his second foul. And Braun hits it. He's had a great night from the lane. 5 for 5 so far. 57-42, second free throw up, no good. Yes, that jinxed him, there you go. Taylor will come down with the rebound. Markwell driving, kicks it out to Frederick, short on the 3. Taylor will able to knock it off, and Frederick saves it. Over to Markwell. Frederick telling Markwell, hold on, calm down, let's set up a play. So Markwell does. Movement, Brown. Over to Bischnauer. Times this and quickly back over to Frederick. Room, drives baseline, kicks it out to Brown, no good, short on the 3. And right there to pick up the rebound is William Applegate. Applegate over the right-hand side. Smitley, bounce pass. Tries to drive in, instead goes right in the hands of Frederick, but not able to have it control. But Heimses does, and Heimses grabs it. Driving down over the right-hand side. Got plenty of room on the freeway. Over to Frederick, spin move, floater, good. 57-44, Frederick's got 14. Taylorville, every man up, all 4 men up front. Haven't even gotten cross past half court yet. With the right-hand side, right on the line, ball gets knocked out underneath the basket. 2 tornado players right there, and Heimses steals it. Heimses drives down. Really easy layup, and Heimses puts it right in. And another timeout taken by Charleston. Full timeout, it's an 11-point game, 57-46. What a finish for this game. Again, Charleston had a 20-point lead here midway through the third quarter, but Taylorville has quietly chipped their way back into this game. And so 11-point lead for Charleston here with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left. Taylorville has really been good here in this fourth quarter. They've really ramped up their playing, and it shows on the scoreboard. So they are outscoring 14-5 here in this fourth quarter, and really, they're going to need to do a whole lot more. And I know it's only 11-point lead, 2 or 3 threes, and Taylorville's really right back into this. But just limit the discipline. That's really been the key for Taylorville. If they can get in there and shut down some of these foul problems that they've been having, they should be all right. It's been the kind of the story here from these two teams has been foul trouble. 6 fouls for Taylorville, 5 fouls for Charleston, 25 points for Jackson Braun, 14 points for Bryce Frederick and Cameron Heimsness. But Frederick has 3 fouls and Heimsness has 2. The only player really in foul trouble for Charleston is Caleb Oakley. I think Caleb would be all right if a couple more players got into foul trouble, but as it sits, that's where we are right now. 2 minutes and 28 seconds left. Oakley to inbounds the ball underneath Taylorville's basket. Getting it out to Grady Smitley. Smitley drives on the right-hand side. Ball is knocked out. Himes is knocking it out of bounds, and a great catch made by the Charleston broadcaster. Woo, good job, boys. Will Bischenauer to block as Caleb Oakley gets the ball in. Gets it into Smitley. Smitley bringing the ball down now across midcourt. And over Oakley on the left-hand side. Oakley cuts between two defenders. And back out to Smitley. Smitley on the right-hand side to Pankey. Pankey's had himself a decent night. A lot of jaw-jacking. Got a lot to show for it. Now a floater in from Smitley. Stops the bleeding a little bit. 59-46. Markwell. That's then drives on Pankey. Kicks it out to Frederick. Takes the three. Now drives himself. Now everybody moving in now has the shot blocked as Miles Clayton just could not get over the outstretched hands of Jackson Braun. Oakley over to Braun. Charleston coach is telling him, hey, slow down. You got a nice lead. Don't blow it. Pankey over to Oakley. Oakley on the left wing, being guarded by Bischenauer. Cuts over the right, drives towards the free throw line, then back out to Braun. And now playing keep away from Taylorville. 90 seconds left. Oakley spins and back out to Pankey. And Pankey gets fouled by Cameron Heimsness. Heimsness with his third foul of the night. That's 7 fouls, and Pankey will go to the line to shoot. (59-46), 1:20 left here in the game. As Kendall Pankey puts the first free throw in. Second free throw from him is also in. 61-46. Here comes Luke Markwell. Markwell driving the left-hand side. Gets in to Frederick, to Clayton, to Heimsness wide open. No good on the three. And ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Taylorville. 61-46, 69 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. What a game from these two teams tonight. A slow start from Taylorville. They never really recovered from that slow start. Frederick over to Markwell. Markwell to Brown. Brown into Frederick. Frederick on. Tries to go up with it, and he's going to get fouled by Braun. (61-46). Going to the line to shoot will be Bryce Frederick. That will be Braun's third foul. Too little, too late, I'm afraid, for Taylorville, who will fall to 1 and 3 on the young season. Too strong from Frederick. Charleston will move to 5-2, 2-0 in the Apollo Conference play. Coming away with a big road win against Taylorville here tonight. Frederick sets, second free throw up, and good. And now Miles Clayton checks in for Luke Markwell. Caleb Oakley underneath the Taylorville basket, getting ready to inbounds it. Taylorville playing a full court press. In to Smitley. Smitley gets fouled again by Brown. And that'll be it for Dylan Brown. Dylan Brown will finish the night with 5 fouls. He scored 7 points tonight after a long night from him. Checking into the game will be Ryan Johnson. Johnson gets a big cheer from the Taylorville Purple Pride as he checks into the game. Grady Smitley to the line to shoot. 61-47 left. Free throw is good from Smitley. 62-47, 57 seconds left here in the game. Second free throw up and also good from Smitley. And every time Ryan Johnson touches the ball, the crowd goes nuts. Heimsness into Frederick. Ball gets picked off by Pankey. Pankey driving down. And now he's just going to try to hold on to it. 43 seconds left. Smitley to Applegate. And Applegate over to Oakley. Oakley driving on Frederick. He's got room, up with it, puts it in. shot from Caleb Oakley. Miles Clayton bringing the ball down. Tries to go under the basket. No good. Too short. Right into the hands of Braun. Braun having trouble with it. And Johnson trying to knock it out. He does knock it out over to Frederick. Frederick to Mischnauer. Oh, in and out from him. And it's going to be picked up by Jackson Braun. That'll be it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That'll be a final score from here. 65-47 is our final score. Taylorville losing at home in a tough Apollo Conference matchup. As I said, they will fall to 1-3, as they just did not have enough tonight. And a slow start really doomed Taylorville from the start. They just were not able to do anything about that slow start. All right, that does it for us. We'll be right back. We'll talk to Coach Brown a little bit about tonight's action and see what he's got to say about tonight's tough loss. We'll have more from Dolph Stanley Court. You're listening to WTIM. Final score from here, 65-47. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. We'll be right back right after this. And welcome back to Taylorville, Illinois. Taylorville losing a tough one. Tornadoes fall 65-47 here. Just were not able to do enough. Really had a strong comeback in that fourth quarter. Just fall a little bit short as they were just not able to do anything and end up losing tonight in a tough matchup at home in their first Apollo Conference game of the year. But after a slow start, Taylorville just really struggled to get going. Only scored 11 points in that first quarter and played catch-up the rest of the night. For Taylorville, it really was a tale of two halves. They played much better in that third, and especially in that fourth quarter. But just the slow start in that first quarter really sunk Taylorville as they were just not able to keep up and They couldn't match up Charleston 3 for 3 for 3. So Charleston really, really was hitting their shots. Taylorville did not shoot very well tonight. And I don't know if that's just a part of the reason of being off for a week straight, or if that was just something where they just were a little bit off tonight. But they're going to have to they're going to have to find their shot quick. They have a big game against Lincoln tomorrow night, and the Railers, always a tough team to play. Taylorville really going to need to have some answers here relatively quick. For Taylorville, let's go over some totals as we wait for Coach Brown. We'll wrap things up after we talk to Coach Brown. 2 points for Miles Clayton tonight, 9 points for Will Bischenauer, 7 points for Dylan Brown, 14 points for Cameron Himesness, and 15 points for Bryce Frederick. 29 points out of the 47 from those two seniors. They had a very, very good night. It was good to see them playing well together after the long break. The answer for Charleston really was Jackson Braun. Taylorville did not have an answer for him tonight. 6 points from Grady Smitley, 5 points from Kendall Pankey, 13 points from William Applegate, 7 points from Jackson Becker, 7 points from Jackson Becker, 25 points from Jackson Braun, and 9 points from Caleb Oakley. Taylorville, it's one of those things where, excuse me as I cough all over the place, Taylorville really did what they needed to do, especially coming out of the break, just could not find an answer to shut down some of those attacks over on those threes. And I think if Taylorville was able to do it again, I think they'd be all right. But again, they're just really going to need to figure out a way to limit the points when they're not scoring. And that's just been a big problem for Taylorville, who just has not had an answer when they haven't been shooting well. And that was the story tonight, was just poor shooting opportunities, I think, is going to be the big story for tonight. Taylorville just could not find the basket until it was way too late. All right, joining me is Coach Ryan Brown. Coach, your thoughts on tonight's game?
Wow, Charleston played well. Out of the 5 games I've seen, that was their best one by far. They looked athletic tonight. They were strong. They rebounded really well. We had no answer for Braun. They shot it extremely well tonight. They were the better team. You got to give them a little hat tip there. They were better than us.
Yeah, Taylorville really. They came out of the gate kind of slow tonight, and I think a little of that was obviously just the layoff a little bit, but shooting was not as good as we've seen Taylorville do in the past.
Yeah, it just kind of took too long to get going. Offensively, we were just struggling through the second quarter. First quarter wasn't very good. Second quarter was slightly better, but not much. And just way too many turnovers tonight to compete and with the Charleston team who played really well.
How did you feel you guys did? The game seemed to get a little bit aggressive in that third and fourth quarter, a little chippy between the teams. How did you feel about the aggressive-ness in the third and fourth quarter?
Yeah, we were down 20 at the start of the third, and I said, well, we got 2 minutes to do this, before we sub, and those guys fought really hard. We laid a stinker tonight, but we fought really hard there in that 4-minute stretch going into the mass timeout of the fourth. Getting some traps, getting the tempo going better than what we had been doing, the rest of the game. So, it was good to, we gave it a shot. We didn't roll over. These guys aren't going to do it. They got a lot of fight in them. Just wasn't very pretty basketball tonight. That's just going to be the way it goes.
I think at one point you guys even cut it into 9 as far as what the deficit was. Just couldn't overcome that last little bit.
Just couldn't get, key stops. You got to get a lot of stops when you're down 20 with not much time left.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of turnaround time. This game obviously was supposed to be Saturday, got moved to tonight. Another big matchup you guys had tonight at home against the Railers.
The nice part about playing back-to-back on a loss is you don't have time to pout, especially with Lincoln coming to town. It's probably getting pretty close to being top 10 in the state, if they aren't already. So, you got to turn the page pretty quick and move on to Lincoln. Lincoln's defense is, one of the better Lincoln defensive teams that I've seen in recent years. They can really control the game on that end of the floor. So, gotta get over it pretty quick and see what we can do tomorrow.
As you say, it's always about the breakfast, right? So we're just gonna throw it away and start all over again.
That's right.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for taking a couple minutes to talk to me tonight. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Leroy.
We'll see you tomorrow night.
Appreciate you, man.
Coach Ryan Brown talking to us tonight about a tough loss at home. Taylorville is just falling a little bit short tonight. 65-47 was our final score for the night, and just could not do it. 29 points from Cameron Heimses and Bryce Frederick just was not enough to stop the attack of Jackson Braun and everybody else that was along for the ride, as Braun really, really was the difference maker tonight. That's going to do it for us from here. I'd like to thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks to Tommy TV for all of your guys' help every night. You guys are fantastic in and out for all the hard work that you do. Thanks to Connor and Aaron back at the studio for all their help as well. Thank you, the listener. You guys mean the world to me. And again, have a great night. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. My name is Leroy Clamola. If I don't see you, have a great rest of your night. We'll talk to you soon.
You're watching Tommy TV.